the Scorchin Squirrel Trail Run 2023. Let's talk about how it went. Hello fellow geeks and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather and I am glad you are here today. If you've been around the channel a while, then you know that a couple of years ago I ran my first ever trail race, and that was the Scorchin Squirrel held at Ferncliff Camp just outside of Little Rock, Arkansas. Now the race goes to help raise funds for Ferncliff Camp, which is a camp center that helps work with at-risk teens. They do a lot of outreach to the community, helping provide for people in need. So it's for a really great cause, and all of the money goes to help support them in their efforts. That being said, this is not the easiest course. In fact, the Scorchin Squirrel is known for its degree of difficulty. There are 4 distances that you can choose from. There is a 10K, an 11.5 mile, a 15.5 mile, and a 19.5 mile, and I always choose the 11.5 mile, and so that's where I kind of focus all of my efforts. This was my 3rd year of doing the race, and every year I've tried to make some sort of progress in my time, my effort, and my overall feeling and how I cross the finish line. So since this is a day after the race, let's go back to Saturday morning and take a look at how things went.
And pretty quickly you're going to cross a footbridge and head up this hill. It's an Aiken trail, because your legs will be an Aiken to the top of it. Then you'll go across this bridge, and you're going to take a really sharp.
The race starts with a steady uphill on the Aiken Trail, followed directly after by a very steep and technical downhill, but we'll come back to that later. As soon as I started out on the trail, I suddenly had flashes in my head of parts of the trail that I thought I had completely forgotten. And I got into a little bit of a panic attack thinking of what I was going to have to get done that day, but tried to push that fear aside and get done what I needed to do. The aid stations were located at the beginning of the loop, and there was a water drop at halfway point. Both of those were manned by volunteers that did an amazing job. They had nice cold water for us to drink and lots of food to choose from. Loop 1 done in 89 minutes. I always think I'm ready for these hills and I am never ready. Let's do it again. I'm not gonna lie, there was a moment where I did consider just stopping after one loop, but as soon as I got to the aid station, I knew I had to do another one. So off I went with my legs aching and screaming at me to do what I came to do. This was also my first year in running this race that I had to stop at every water drop because I just kept running out of hydration. It was so humid and I was so, as my daughter would say, low-drated that I had to keep refilling. Leaving the aid station, that is 2 loops. I'm headed back towards the finish and the lovely hill that I lovingly call the Beast. Not fun, but we're gonna make it. And a beast it is. I have heard even the most experienced trail runners still struggle greatly trying to get up this hill. It slows your time way down. Made it. Oh, that was tough. I stopped probably 7 or 8 times coming up that hill because it is almost straight up. That is the worst. But the good news is I'm about to hit a bunch of downhills on the way back. The bad news is there's an uphill to the finish line. Let's get at it. After you cross the finish line, there is some food that is provided by Fleet Feet, and all of the runners kind of stick around to hang out, talk together, and of course enjoy Ferncliff's pool. All right, so 3 hours later. I am tired, I'm sweaty, I'm covered in mud from the knees down. So overall, great run. I don't think I beat my time from last year. That uphill at the end just absolutely killed me, but you know what, that's okay. I had a great experience. They changed the course a little bit, so I had to deal with some of that. And would I do this again? Absolutely. But for now, let's take it back inside for some final thoughts. And so here we are a day later, and my quads are so angry with me right now because of all those hills. And like I said in the video, every year I think I'm prepared for those hills, and I'm never as prepared as I think I am. But apparently it's not just me. Everybody was kind of having a little bit of a problem that day. So my time is not going to be as fast as it would be without all of those hills, but still a fairly decent time, I would venture. Now, what makes this race so challenging is that you do have Jeep trails that you are running on. So these are not things that people typically will do on foot, more all-terrain vehicles. And so there are some ruts that you have to go through. There are definitely some stream crossings, some muddy spots that you have to go through, and of course, lots of loose rocks. And so all of your uphills and downhills have that extra element of technicalness that you have to deal with. So this is definitely not one of the easier races. It is a challenge, and that's why I keep coming back to it every year, just because I enjoy pushing myself to that limit and seeing what I can do in that type of situation. Crossing the line, my final time was 3:04:44, which, if you check last year's results, I am a minute faster. So maybe I didn't take a ton of time off of last year's time. However, I do feel that I am recovering more efficiently. I feel that I ran the course more efficiently. And if you will check what it says for the race on Strava, you'll see that I tackled that hill the fastest that I have ever tackled it. I love the fact that you can just refer to it on Strava as that hill, and everybody knows what you're talking about. Nobody forgets that hill once they have tried to go up. So overall, the Scorchin Squirrel, another amazing experience. It is a huge challenge to me every year, and I look forward to doing it just for that exact reason. I am miserable while I am running, but I love the feeling once I cross that finish line. So there you go. That is my wrap up for the 2023 Scorchin Squirrel. Did you find this interesting? Have you run any trail races recently, or just gone out on some trails? Why don't you let me know about it down in the comments below. Don't forget that you can subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it keeps you up to date on all the running content I have coming out all the time. So just click the button or give this video a big thumbs up. Both of those give me out to runners just like you. You could also follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description. You can find me across all platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Thanks so much for being here. I'm so glad you could join me. Remember to laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. I'll see you later.